that first place spot to go straight to Montpellier in France, but you know, if Big still take this series, that would be pretty unreal. They're currently 1-1 after breaking Astralis' map streak on Inferno on LAN, and now looking to take it to Overpass for the third.
Yeah, those are some of the best odds I've ever seen on an Astralis game. So, you know, maybe take them while they're hot. Zantares looking in towards Connector. Hugo, do you want to do the sound effects for this round, or is that how we're going to do it?
I think you're more of
okay, I'll do the sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back on.
Up.
Oh, every time. I get so excited. I'm like, finally, this is my moment. But no, not to be. I'm probably, for the joy of people watching at home, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, maybe you should cast instead, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, I heard I just do grunts anyway. But Device going to shut down tabseN over towards Long. Already that first kill comes on in for the Danish squad. Now they go running by Zantares, who is very much the wolf in sheep's clothing here. He's in the back line, and they've got no idea. He could shut this entire round down. Now makes a little stepperoo, but it's not going to matter. Oh, no! The bomb plant comes in. Zantares whiffing those shots. Still a 4-on-4. Not the end of the world. It's still very much recoverable, but Xyp9x deletes him. And now Tizzy and Godby are next, all that remain. 3v4, and they're going to be hard-pressed to get back into this bomb site.
Yeah, up the choke point. They haven't cleared bank as well. That makes things even harder. They're actually sandwiched in between Astralis and dupreeh. Dinks down Tizzy and finishes off the job. And no copies on the site as well. Same story for dupreeh, who is just lights out on the A site, making money from the bank. And Astralis are pissed around under their wing as they take that first of this third and final map for the night. Also, poor Zantares. Nice try. Glaive's body was turned into the box, so his head wasn't exactly visible there. I think if he aimed a bit lower, he would have had it. But the thing is, the second you miss a shot like that and give away your position, your instinct is just to spam left click, but that only makes your pistol more inaccurate over each shot. So sometimes you've got to slow down and let it relax.
Yeah, also, the bullets in CS actually work on where they've exited from the body, and they pick the area that does the most damage. So that's actually a little... Yeah,
really?
yeah, there you go. I remember hearing that in a video somewhere. I'll try and pull it up for you at some point. But this round is getting shut on down. They do manage to find a couple of kills with the USPs, which, you know, if you're big, you're not too disappointed with. And now they've got a buy here. Won't have the AWP, though. Will it just be rifles across the board?
We are early days, though. Of course, Astralis, you know, very tenured on every map, but especially Overpass, had a lot of history here, so good T-side start as you would expect. But yeah, as you say, no AWP, full rifles here for Big. No kit either, keep an eye on that, but they've got the util, despite a lack of Molotovs. Just your typical first round buy on the CT side, to be honest. Astralis setting up early outside of B with 3. Oh, the classic nades. Tizian, oh, he's dead. 3 nades. He wasn't even fully at the apex of his jump, but jumps right to his death. Zantares getting wallbanged as he tries to regress after that kill, knowing that there have to be 3 Astralis players outside of Monster. We might even see Big Up to rotate down towards B even further. They have. Another man is in heaven, but the issue is another entry has been found. dupreeh dropping Zantares. 1 by 1, Big getting taken down in this bomb site. tabseN running away as a smoke lands in heaven. And 5-on-2 for Astralis. The bomb going down on B and the round guaranteed. Device is the safety insurance that there's no gun surviving, but actually he gets picked up by Godby. And oh wow, the bomb has been left in spawn. That's a bit of an awkward one, but Godby won't find it in time. dupreeh's double back through connected to cut them off, and Xyp9x will be able to pick it up and go get that plant. If anything, this just gives Astralis more time to hunt down these kills, and they will.
Oh, they spot tabseN. They know where he sits. They know where Godby is. They know everything. And they are all seeing. But can they find the guns? Can they shut it down? Magisk holding off for that bomb plant for just a bit, allowing his teammates to get in position to try and strip these Augs away. Not the easiest of tasks, though, as tabseN and Godby have been showing, but all the players for Astralis looking to go on the hunt. Flash, tabseN's trying to chase Glaive down because he knows he's just going to rear his head again and be a nuisance in a minute's time.
Oh.
Godby looking to try and pincer in onto Glaive, but Glaive, oh no, he knows that Godby's here. He knows that Godby lies in wait, and Godby's gone. Gone B. Tabson, 1v3, trying to hold on to the AK, and Astralis still hunting him down to the very end of time.
No survivors, Harry. Although, for who? For which team? Tabson gets one, but Exit is there. That's still a great save from Big, right? That's a 5-on-2, made a 2-on, well, 0. Astralis lose 3 players on the chase there, so making actually no profit in that round, per se. That being said, neither do Big. They lose it, so even less. And this will be the anti-eco for Astralis, as Big only half by pistols and armor at a very max. Still a strong start to Astralis on the T side of this map, though. 3-0 beginning. But how much can you really expect from this buy from Big? Deagles, 1 armored player on God B, and a B stack here for round number 4.
Yeah, the problem is Astralis not really the sort of team known for just blindly committing to a bomb site from the offset, and this round is no exception. They clear out mid, they hold on to B early. Big now have to consider the possibility of the A play, so they rotate a couple of guys on up.
Fully rotate, actually.
They rotate all the guys on up. So they'll have 5 at least in the A bomb site, but Astralis, they're going to test the waters everywhere, including in the waters down towards shore. They're clearing this B portion of the map, and the second glaive doesn't spot anyone. That might be enough for that bomb to get picked up. Zipnik's now here as well. And, I mean, one man up in heaven is next. What can he do? A Deagle and a Dream.
Struggling to get on the railing. I don't think much is going to come out of this round for Big. Astralis have realized the empty bomb site, but again, the bomb. It was a default, to be fair, and they didn't expect to get it for free, so that bomb's got a long rotation round. It will just be there in time, but 25 seconds, you're cutting it quite fine. Luckily enough, Big aren't going for this. They know Astralis have taken B, and they'd rather just stay grouped and keep that trade potential up. So bomb can go down on this B bomb site, and Astralis, a 4th round to their name. This is where the hunt starts.
I tell you what, right, I walked past Glaive just a minute ago, and he had a very, like, you know, normally he's quite a smiley guy.
Yeah.
He looked very, you know, like in the zone, right? Like, didn't even acknowledge anything that was going on around him.
As you would be.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? They're going to be out for blood. They've lost the big streak that they had. Astralis getting off to a 4-0 start does spell some early troubles for Big. And the one thing that does scare me a bit is if you think back to that Hellraisers matchup, a team that I think, you know, you can agree is beneath the caliber of Astralis.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, is, you know, this was a map that went their way, and pretty convincingly so as well. So, Big, yeah, they might have been able to upset with the Inferno victory, but Overpass is certainly not off to the same start. That said, they've always been a team that's been good to grind their way back into these games. So 4-0 maybe actually isn't that a miss in a big matchup. You know, you think back to Dust 2, where they were 8-1 down at one point in time. Inferno was massively in favor of the Danes early on as well. And in a lot of ways, that's kind of what makes this comeback from Big that much more worthy of praise, right? These weren't like free victories on the back of broken money. They had to grind their way back into these games.
Yeah, it was like a lot of tough spots that Astralis were left in, where they had to make decisions on their economy that weren't necessarily in their best interests. Tabson flashing out close there, just avoided. The AWP on the middle of the site, Astralis have to deal with it. They've not met it just yet, but now they will. And come to regret it, they shall on the peak. Tabson with 1. Not being gifted anymore. Astralis may be considering the rotate round, but the issue is that bomb's committed. It is Deep and Monster. Dupree's just found a kill up on the Heaven, I think. So that is a big entry, and Astralis are going to go forward with it. Reboost up for Xantares, perfectly timed, catches Dupree. Tabson still here on the site, swiveling around the pillar, and he finds another one. Xantares and Nex joining the party, and it is a clean sweep on this B-bomb site. 1 casualty, and that'll be it for Big. They take the round. They're first on the CT side. As you say, 4-0 might not be as bad as it seems. Well, now it's 4-1.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, you know, the proof's going to be in the pudding, right? Big able to recover that round there. They hold their own down towards B. And, you know, Astralis, they kind of had to learn the hard way not to underestimate this ragtag bunch of Germans. And obviously the Turkish player in the form is Antares. Godby's already out in mid, and he's made no noise getting here. So his presence is a bit of an unknown factor. He hasn't seen anyone either, so Big can start to read into the potential of this fast Bs. Antares spotting those initial players on the boost. Double molly to force them to deconstruct that. No smoke down at short, but one is going to fall in a moment's time. Instead, it's the Molotov. Tizian actually runs straight through it, and that's maybe a bit optimistic. As he burns alive, Astralis get this bomb down and now sit in a 5v4, but a great flick from tabseN does shut down Glaive. He's hungry for more, and he's looking for it. tabseN. Second kill now, turning this back in favor of Big. Damage done onto Device. dupree's brought down low. There's a lot of red on the screen for Astralis, and Xyp9x, he'll get traded. This leaves dupreeh in a 1v3. Does take the head off the first man. Spots tabseN as well. He's so low himself, 23 HP on dupreeh, but he's just wasting time, and he's doing a great job of exactly that. Godby sticking the defuse. Godby sticking the defuse, and Big, they will get that second round, even mopping dupreeh up at the very end. The retake prevails, and that was 4v5 as that bomb went down.
Yeah, very, very messy there on the retake with tabseN, 2 massive kills on the flank, and that, you know, set Big up to double push the CT smoke with a flashbang. Astralis very much pincered into that pit. 2 rounds to Big, 2 in a row as well. That's going to start to create trouble for Astralis economy, as you can see. They're on CZs. Still pretty decent weapons and lots of utility behind it for an execute, but Big on the tails of Astralis right now. Oh, the aggression from Antares. Again, so confident. Top fragger back on the previous map. And looking to do the same here as he takes 2 kills down water. Still going to hold the same angle as well. Just tempting Astralis to come his way. He spots the legs. Damage done. Device does cross, but the flash actually facilitates 2 monster side. There's a player on barrels to watch this though, and dupreeh is wrapping up through connector. Not Big aware of that one. They could get shot from the backside. Door getting open though. Godby not going to hear it, but he will be able to take the kill, and not double, but Antares gets the trade. It's just Glaive left alive, and 1 on 3, trying to grab himself a gun. He gets an AUG and gets out of there, but Big are going to have time to rotate up towards A if he does so choose to give them the fight. The flank is there from Nex, and that will shut it down. Big 3 rounds. They get rid of the pistols there for Astralis, not giving the room as well for those Ts to just go for an execute. Astralis wanted to take B control and just go for a full molly smoke play, but Antares throws a spanner in the works by pushing down short. Very much disrupting the Astralis offense.
It feels like, you know, this is really the first series, possibly since this Big roster came around in its current iteration, that we're really seeing kind of all the key players, all the key parts finally falling into place, right? Even if you think back to their day 1 and day 2 matchups versus weaker opponents than the likes of Astralis, we didn't really have that cohesive unit that we were looking for in the Big side of things. You know, last map, Nex and Antares, they both had fantastic games. tabseN was kind of trailing off in the beginning, but he recovered massively. And here on Overpass, he's looking good. Godby's going to shut down that initial peak from dupreeh. So how do Astralis respond to this? A man down already in the opening 30 seconds of this round. And what a man to find. dupreeh was one of the real heroes for them back on Inferno, and Dust too. He's been having stellar performances all year round, in fact. tabseN in with another. That man advantage just continues to grow. The beast in the back of the minds of Astralis.
Yeah, they are creeping up long though, and that's smoke right next to tabseN. He could get pinched from the back line. Tizian locking down Magist, getting aggressive on short, and tabseN, quick flash, Device avoids it. Waiting for this smoke to fade. The issue is Godby's now posted, and tabseN's moved aggressively enough that Device can't catch him out. He's got to get this kill first. Godby, all timing. He moves off, but he moves back in right as Device clears it. Loaded into a full sense of security as now Xyp9x is last man standing. 1 on 5. And Tizian's already up in the toilets as well, ready and waiting. Xyp9x does get the kill, but no time to hit B. 20 seconds on this clock. He can look for lurking players around the connector, but his chance of actually winning the round is so severely low here. Wallbang coming through. He tries to spray, tries to pray, but it's Antares to win the round for Big there. 4-4. What a recovery this was from Big Harry. At 4-0, you said it yourself that this scoreline may not be as bad as it seems, and certainly salvageable. Well, Big have done exactly that. They've now found 4 rounds in a row to make that scoreline equal.
Yeah, they've been like weirdly consistent at having these slow starts in the first half, never really having much success in the pistol and then those follow-on rounds. And yet in the second half, the pistols always seem to go the way of Big. So it does feel like, they're a team that kind of take their time to build into a map, get a feel for it. Tactical pause now called in by the Big side. Interesting to note, in spite of winning that round, they're the team to take the tack. And will it be tit for tat from the Astralis side, who have now lost 4 in a row to see this scoreline equal up early on?
And despite Big winning all these rounds, they're still the one calling the tactical pause here. And you can hear them being very vocal. Clearly still problems maybe, or a game plan for this round.
No, I just think Big always had a reputation as a very loud team, right? And that's not something that's really...
Oh, when I say problems, I don't necessarily mean like internal problems. I mean like, problems with how the setup is going. And, well, the problem they're getting met with right now, Harry, is the fast B play. Apparently not a problem, more a solution, and that is the rifles on this CT side shutting it out. Device getting tagged, that should be heard. And Tizian's waiting for it on the bottom of the stairwell. Clean, flawless round from Big.
And the perfect call from God B, right? We heard them discussing it in that tactical pause. They grouped 3 players up in connector, very aware that it was likely going to be a fast B play from Astralis because the money is down low. Those rotations could have came in instantly from those players in con. And then they also were just able to crunch onto the last remaining 2 Astralis players. So the picture perfect read from the Big squad. And now they sit in the lead.
Swelling brain, Harry. It's bulging out of their head. 5-4 for Big. Tabson wants to take matters into his own hands with the AWP, but flashed off early. Let's do pre-con side. Boost up for Godby. Off angle. Not the one you're expecting to see there if you do pre, but the Molotov should win this kill. No, the smoke's down and Godby's still here. That nade will certainly do it. Try all you want, Gob, but eventually Astralis will have your number. 4 on 4. Rotate down towards B for Astralis as well. Big stacking 2 per site here, but they always have the option to just drop Tizian down towards lower, leaving Tabson alone on the AWP. B site is going to be the problem for Big as Astralis flash their way through monsters, sneaking through. No smokes across the site. They're just going to look to take dry jewels. And next, tagging device down low. Zipex getting dropped as well. And oh, that's 2 from Xantares through the wall, commits to the spray, and it works out wonderfully. 1 man left up for Astralis, and he is just being chased. Big are feeling confident. They're feeling pumped. And 6-4 scoreline, flawless since Astralis took the early 4-round lead.
And this is the Xantares that we wanted to see when he joined this Big squad. We always knew there was going to be teething problems, right? Obviously coming over from Turkey, having to learn a whole new language almost just to facilitate the communication. But to say he's finding his footing in this matchup almost seems patronizing. He's top of the board once again, 12-6 early on over for the Big side. Molotov down, smoke to extinguish it, but it won't come out. Instead, Nex finds a double. He's handed that almost entirely for free, and he's just mowing down Astralis like they're no one. This is the best team in the world. Glaive in with the return, but Xantara's there. And this leaves Dupree alone, 1v4. Ooh, nice shot on a God B.
That's not the first time God B's died there, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it wasn't God, but we've seen Astralis catch kills in this map already of jumping heaven players. Dupree, you can dance all you want, but with Big 3 players on the other side of that site and the bomb under the control, you're not going to get much further. This going his way into Monster here, and Xantara's caught with a nade in hand, but he will get the rifle out in time, shutting it down. Big, another round yet to lose here since getting there first. 7. Should we be worried? I really don't know. Because at the same time, if Astralis get 11 forward, I still can believe they're going to pull this game back.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we're just going to have to see, right? This is very much one of these games where we do just have to wait and see. There's no clear victor because Big are playing physically the best Counter-Strike we've ever seen them play. So it's kind of now a question of can they keep this up, or will we see the Astralis of old shine through and weather the storm? That is this strong start from Big. As you pointed out, yet to field a single round since they got these first 4 on the board. Now tabseN aggressive in party. This isn't something that Astralis have had to deal with yet. Device on the other side. tabseN going to elect now to leave the party. Hasn't seen anyone just yet. And that will mean Big keep this 3-man hold down towards B for the time being.
Astralis still throwing nades over it, though, while taking long at the same time with that bomb. So anyone's guess as to where this is ending up. They can always drop down Con or vice versa. It looks like the opposite result going up the connector was dupreeh, but just gets caught in the meantime, and the trade is there, but dupreeh now just lurking around, waiting to see if Big re-aggress. And they have in the toilets. This setup at 40 seconds, Astralis, they are not going to be expecting this by any means. They've not even cleared out this position, so dropping the bomb, making some noise. I think it's going to be heard by Big. The push is in. Glaive gets past, got B there. They've now got the double back, and tabseN will fire off with the AWP, finding one Molotov at the feet of Glaive. tabseN still hits a shot, and he's swiveling back to care about long. That won't be a problem. The bomb's been caught in connector, and if this kill comes through, the round is done. It's looking done anyway. There's no time. Xyp9x coming in on the flank, gets the kill. Can this bomb cross to the site in time, or would tabseN be able to stop it? The smoke eludes his vision, and now it's going to be down to Tizian. 8 seconds up, and he kills them both, dropping in from heaven and finding the kills in the pit. It's another round for Big, yet to lose one since getting there first. That was messy, Harry.
Yeah, this is a brand of Counter-Strike from Astralis many wouldn't have seen before, and it's just a losing brand. It's not one that Astralis have ever really subscribed to.
It certainly seems like Big have got a really good read on how Astralis are approaching this. They did back on Inferno, even with those 4-man stacks. Big very aware of the positions that Astralis played on those sites. It seems like they are kind of one step ahead on this CT side at the moment in terms of knowing where Astralis are going and pulling out aggressive setups at really the right point in the round to still have, at the 40-second mark, 2 players in toilets and no T's on long for them to be kind of countered, because that is in one way a counter to the double toilet setup. If you can get up on long and take the site, you have those toilet players pinned, but Astralis didn't. And so for Big to have that setup at the 40-second mark threw a real curveball the way of Astralis. They were not expecting that.
So this round, fast mid-play, they try and speed it up. tabseN able to find the first. They do get by Tizian, and he'll shut down the next man. tabseN's tearing them a new one. And Glaive, last man left, but tabseN cements it with a 3K. He's sitting on $16,000. This is a man, he does not die. And another round for the German squad. They are blitzing through this defense put up by Astralis right now. And it's showing no signs of slowing down either. 9 rounds in a row for Big right now. And Astralis, at least they've got a buy here to fall back on. Device has got the AWP, rifles across the board for everyone else. You are somewhat feeling bad for Device at this point in time. Had a very slow game back on Inferno, and it doesn't look to have changed all that much here on Overpass. He does finally have that AWP back in his hands. So maybe that could be the turning point for Astralis here in round 14.
But if we remember back to the end of Inferno, I mean, he had 10 kills coming into overtime. It was dupreeh AWPing over him. Some missed shots, some maybe lack of confidence in that previous map, and you've got to hope it's coming back. The issue is, how can you be confident when you've just lost 9 rounds in a row? Well, we're going to have to hope that that doesn't dissuade Astralis, or Device specifically, as he sets up over on long, where tabseN also sits on CT AWP. Astralis exploiting every little nook and cranny they can to get info. The jump over the party, just to see if Big are aggressive. It's not the case. First time we've really seen long even being a point of contention for Big in this half. Astralis has not opted to go towards it either, really. So tabseN backing towards the site, 40 seconds. This bomb is still in T-spawn. That's a big no. Astralis need to get it now, and Zipnix will realize it. So he doubles back out of B, back up to the top side of the map, and look at this re-aggression. Mastermind call from Big. They can get the info on any rotates down towards B through the connector, and they can also shut down any close players setting up utility. That's what this Molotov is for. It's common to throw nades from that bench, and Magisk was trying to, but been mollied off. 20 seconds. Astralis, if they want to throw smokes, they've got to take some hits from the Flames. Glaive will down to 50, but the execute is here. 14 seconds until that bomb plant is no longer a problem.
And only one man inside of this site for Big. It's got beat. If he can deny the bomb plant, he wins the round, but that is a big ask of him. The bomb will get planted with 2 seconds to spare from Astralis, and they run. They get out of this bomb site. They all set up over in the toilets, and without a single smoke on the side of Big, this is actually the perfect read from Astralis. A 5v5 retake, not something you see every day, and especially not in an Astralis game. Big have to start to get some of these kills soon now, or else this round is undoable. Zipnix finding one, Dupree in with a double. Next does what he can, but it's a wrap from Magis that might solidify things. Indeed it will. A 5th round out for the Danes. And they've somewhat dug themselves out of the danger zone. They've put a stop to the momentum that Big had. They find a 5th round.
Yeah, I love that molly from Godby up on the bench. I feel like if he committed with that aggression, we would have seen Big take that round. Because as said, 15 seconds as they went for the push, all it would have taken is one kill from Big, one close corner position from them to disrupt Astralis and delay the bomb plant by 1 second, which would have lost them the round. I understand that Big wanted to play for the retake there, but without the utility to facilitate it, it doesn't work out for them. 9-5, still a fantastic half under their wing, looking to get double digits before it's over. Astralis quick through the playground, set up towards long, and the flash will send them flying. Taps and misses the AWP shot, but he has the information that these players are up long. Just got to have the connector covered from the backline of God B. Glaive's been molly, taps and gets one, but they already crossed past him. He's just going to try and pull back.
Nades raining out over towards long. We'll keep the Danes at bay for now. Pretty limited in terms of what utility they've got left to try and make this play happen over on the Astralis side. Ooh, they're going to throw the little triple boost in. I love this. Device going to go up. Will Tabson be ready for it? He is scoped in up here, and Tabson... He shuts that boost down. Device thinks he's going to get a free kill, and he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank, but Tabson was ready for it.
And this has just thrown Astralis' game plan out the window again. Constantly getting disrupted on this T side. They have not been able to go for the executes they wanted. There's always been a caveat. And now Big, only 2 players on B. Astralis attempting to charge in with 25 seconds, but Xantares has been so good. Not good this round, though. Next trading can keep this round alive, but he's so low and will eventually be dropped. It's a 2-on-3 as this bomb makes its way to the site. That molly cuts off any chance of a CD stopping this plant, and the retake will be on. Tabson goes right through it, though, and they'll hear it. Getting the frag, got B on the flank, and Tizian does pinch Dupree in the sight. It's 10 rounds and a half to Big. Astralis, they salvaged 1 after that 4-0 streak at the start, but Big, they're the ones laughing. As you can see, they're the ones sitting in the lead. A 10-5 half on map 3 to finish off tonight. Let's see if Big can continue up in their stride and take this victory versus Astralis. All that and more after the break.
Dancing on my own when you spill that ramen coke on my t-shirt. Yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby.
And the next thing I knew was that we were on map 3, Overpass, and currently Big leading 10-5 at the end of that first half. Anything is possible here in this second. It's anyone's guess who's going to take this map, but Big are sat in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, Legia's blowing the flute of wisdom here to allow Big to take the lead.
The horn of knowledge, as it's sometimes reveled. He's got it. The Vuvuzela of dreams. Brilliant. Perfect. We've sounded the horn, and that means that this battle is underway. These betway odds have shrunk right on down, and that really does reflect just how dominant Big have looked.
Yeah, those people who bet on Big when the odds were 9-1, well, Betway are not happy with them anymore.
Yeah, a little sweat like, oh, guys, what's gone wrong? Xyp9x going to kickstart this round, at least with a kill on Tizian, and this attempted B-Rap now could get shut down relatively easily. They try and offset Astralis with a blistering pace, but Device doubling down, and this round's falling apart.
It's a mess, Harry. It's a mess through the smoke at Big Sit. The Glock being taken. That's when you know things are going crazy. Bomb yet to be even picked up. It's committed towards B, so Xantares with the wrap round. Device on the other side. Flashbang is fantastic, and of course it is. It's Astralis finding their form into the second pistol round, into the second half. They take this round, but Harry, that's what we saw back on the first half, if you recall. It was a 4-0 to Astralis over on their T side. Big ended it 10-5, only dropping one round in a streak of 10. So, despite maybe an early strong start for Astralis, I'm not counting Big out. For now, I will count Big out, because it's just a flashbang. 5 Glocks, rather, on this T side. Astralis looking for a nice and clean anti-eco, and I imagine they'll get it as well. It's looking like the B play for Big, just a full charge with 4. tabseN trying to, I don't really know, do his thing, sell a fake. Not really sure what one Glock can do up on that A site, and the bomb's already been spotted on B. He will look for the full flank and might find it, but everyone's already rotated down towards his lower bomb site with that bomb under the control. Magist continuing to get aggressive, and Astralis, they wait for no one. They've had enough. They want to end this game, and Glaive and Magist will shut down the Glocks with ease. It's at A flank of tabseN, but he's rumbled onto an empty bomb site without the bomb. Get ready for the most anticlimactic ending to a round.
It's certainly, well, that will be it. I'm not even going to try and suggest that tabseN finds anything here. And he won't. Astralis 7-10. Exactly as expected. And now we have the buy from Big. This is where a bit of chaos gets injected into this second half. The first buy. And this is going to be our first chance to really see how the Big T side stacks up against the Astralis defense here.
Chaos is my favorite vaccine, Harry. I've got a lot of them on the list, but that's got to be up there. Let's see if Astralis can make this interesting in the second half and close this gap. Big up towards the A side of things to start things off. The early molly doesn't really deny them any presence. They get 2 out in front of it. Glaive, same story. Molly down on B, pushes right through it as it fades. He's behind enemy lines, as is Dupree. Look at the confidence on Astralis. Look at the aggression, and they'll find 3 kills from it, not giving Big the room to move even out of the spawn. They find more damage to tabseN. The trade eventually coming through, and the bomb can be picked back up as Big have only got 2 players left up. It's no worry as to where this bomb is, but got B getting dropped, and tabseN dropping into the sights of Xyp9x. What a round from Astralis. Out of nowhere, they just push up with the SMGs. The bonus round, very, very quick. And Big now back down on pistols. Astralis looking to bring the scoreline back.
Certainly wouldn't be the first time they've gotten off to a 4-0 start. A bit of investment here from Big, but ultimately not much. Once the smoke going to get thrown down by Xyp9x, that lands early. Early Molotov lands. To try and deny this mid presence the way of Big, they'll just smoke that off. Now, they have used their 1 smoke on extinguishing that molly. No one was actually keeping an eye on mid from Astralis, so Big, yeah, will be a bit upset about that one. They've lost the one bit of utility they had to try and get them into a bomb site. They do still have 3 flashbangs. With only pistols, Astralis not breaking a sweat just yet.
Yeah, Device very exposed here, but up against pistols, it shouldn't be a worry. And if a flash comes through, he can just drop off. The issue is, as you can see to his right, He can't view both positions at once, so he's got to try and section them off. There's the flash, and he isn't able to fall back. They just take him down before he even has a chance. Now, they don't check long, and dupreeh can wipe them down, but he only gets a single kill. Damage to Xantares, who will get that plant on the site. Magisk looks to try and trade things back, and the molly does land, forcing Xantares out into the jaws of Magisk. Retake setup now for Astralis, 3-on-3. This should be fine for them, you'd like to think, but Tizian's got himself an org and he's looking to do some damage with it. Not going to be successful. Godby dink onto Glaive, who does get away with just 10 points of health. That nade will finish off the job, though, and he goes ahead of it. Great work. Glaive shutting it down with Magisk on 3 on that UMP. Maybe even see him grab a rifle eventually, but the defuse is coming through for the likes of Astralis. And 9 rounds here on the CT side. Closer and closer they get. So those are the 4, Harry, in a row. It was at this point in the T side that Big ran away with the half. Obviously different half, so different situation. But let's see if Big can find their first on this T side.
Yeah, first time we're going to get to see the AWP over in the hands of tabseN as well. So he's now got that for Big to try and play off of. He'll be over here in mid, and dupreeh maybe looking to challenge here. That's a decision he might come to regret. tabseN not going to get rewarded for his patience, at least not yet, but dupreeh is still lingering around over here in mid. Instead going to take up position at long. Xenix down in the connector, has Magisk nearby to help out if needed. These two could try and play off of one another. They'll blow out Squeaky Door just to allow for a bit more support between the two of them. dupreeh trying to sneak through the toilets and might get away, but Xantares claims a life down here towards B in the meantime. Xenix trying to make his presence known, but he misses the shot, and now he's in a world of hurt, surrounded on either side. And with Nex holding the bottom of connector, he is very much stuck in the trap that Big have sprung. He's still fighting and has actually given himself a means of escape. He just has to get by Nex, and that's a challenge in and of itself with just 13 points of health. Yeah,
that Molotov should seal the deal, though. He's going to run up towards A, and they should be watching this, but no one's on the angle. tabseN looks back down again. Good timing. But Tizian gets caught running backwards in. Maybe not communicated. That's a weird one. tabseN trades, but that should never have been a 3-on-3. This should be Big in a 4-on-3 right now, but mistakes being made, and as a result, Astralis have some skin in the game.
I think they just thought he got out of there somehow, right? The Molotov didn't kill him, so I think they didn't realize that he'd ran up through the connector. And Xenix does such a good job to get 2 in that situation. I mean, you know, 1 almost seemed like it was going to be enough. So he's gone above and beyond to answer the call of duty here for Astralis. Big, they've got 10 seconds. They have to get into this bomb site, and that bomb has to go down now, or else there will be no time left. Device dropping Nex. Bomb's trying to go down, but dupreeh mops it up, 10-10. Astralis equalizing this out. And now this definitely feels more than doable for our Danish overlords.
I heard a gun drop there as well at the end. I think they took the double AWP from long, so now 2 AWPs for Astralis potentially going forward. That's an even more threatening situation for Big, who've yet to field around on this T side out of the last 5. It's a tactical pause for them now as they try and work out their woes. Legia no longer blowing on the trumpet of truth, and now just holding it, Harry, maybe losing faith in the magic. Indecision, maybe.
Yeah, Godby trying to reinstill some faith in the calls, in the strats. Big certainly wavering there in that round, right? It was a bit of indecision as to how to deal with Xenix down in connector. You know, had they just dedicated all the players over in mid to just flushing that problem out, could have been a very different round, but they do hesitate. They do flip-flop a bit, and that allows Xenix to get away with a lot more than he ever should have. From then on in, the round just falls apart for Big. Smoke going to get lined up there by Xantares.
It's to cut off dupreeh in this position as well.
Another one going to fall over on the other side of the toilet. So yeah, that flushes these players out from the toilet position, or maybe not. They instead assemble a boost to see over the top of it, still have vision into this portion of the map. They decide to scrap the boost and instead just play this one from the bomb site.
Yeah, knowing that long is still a factor as well as those toilets. This triple setup on A is going to be the call from Astralis, but that deep long smoke That denies information, it denies vision for Astralis. They'll go for the boost instead. They'll just try and gather that info back. And Device, or Dupree rather, getting the shot off, taking down Tizian early on, going back for more through the smoke. Big are closing the distance. And Astralis are yet to rotate off of B, but they might not be needed. This timing play from Xantares could be fantastic. There's only one man at long right now, and he might be able to catch him off guard with a Molotov, forcing Zipnek into the open. He'll get away with just 10 points of health. Magisk getting a kill to God B as well. Xantares almost shutting down the player on the dumpster. That is the AWP as well. This Molotov is going to be important. 2 players behind it, but it lands up in the left side behind that smoke and extinguishes. Now 4 players here for the Danes. Not an easy nut to crack as Xantares realizes he's got an allergy. Glaive takes his head off and next trades back for 2, but do they expect 2 more where that came from? Plus the flank as well. They don't. Magisk shutting him down from the sidelines. Tabson alone, cornered, and in a 1-on-3, he's found the first. Magisk peeking out as well. Doesn't want to commit to the duel, but he shuts him down with 10 seconds left. Astralis, another CT round, not letting off the gas here on Overpass.
Yeah, that's now 6 in a row for the Danes, and for Big, it's been a long while since they tasted that sweet victory of a round. And this gap looks set to continue to grow. Another tactical pause for the Big squad called on in.
And you know they can feel this game slipping from out their fingers right now. They had a 10-5 hard, they had everything for them. Moving into the favored side as well, or moving from the favored side as well. I get it's more difficult on the T side, but Big have not even taken one single round here, and this is when it starts to bring you down mentally. Again, you do have to remember, Harry, they're facing the best team in the world right now. The fact that we're even talking about this is like, you know, oh, Big should feel bad that they've not won a round. They've got 10 against Astralis. They just knocked them down on Inferno, defeating their winning streak. Your Big should feel amazing, but to get this far and not get over the finish line, that's got to be crushing for such a competitive team.
Yeah, and a team that you know really do put a lot of pressure on themselves to do well. They do very much hold themselves to a high standard. So setting up outside of B in this round, that nade finds a bit of damage on the Tabson, but nothing to write home about. Xantares, that first point of contact that he will delete Glaive, the boost thrown in. Or rather, not the boost, actually, it's Dupree to shut him down from the connector. Squeaky door was blown out earlier by Astralis, and wrap round from Tizian. No one keeping an eye on mid, so that's Dupree blindsided. And in Big's mind, yeah, I mean, they're like, okay, we get out through mid, we kill the man down in con, there's no one keeping an eye on this, so we're going to rotate back towards middle and maybe hit this A-bomb site.
And of course, knowing the first kill they got was a B player, so Big now walking into A, expecting Astralis to have rotated one of those 2 A players down. That's exactly what they've done. It's just Device here. He does jump spot with the AWP as well, ready and waiting, but with 4 Ts on the other side, Device is going to need a bit of a montage reel. They're already up long as well. He spots it. That's one. Bit of info. Can pass that off to the team. Peek wide and take down Tabson, but the flash is already through, and it will send Device back into full whitening. Double as well. He's not given any room here, but he's still going to hit the shots once they close the distance. Tizian, second to fall to this AWP. Bomb does get planted for Big, but 2-on-3. Pistol and Org for holding off this bomb site, and Astralis retaking with 3, all from the same position. This is not going to be an easy round for Big.
Certainly not. Next, inside of the bomb site, will find Device. Bit of damage on the Zipnix, and he's just being a nuisance. They finally flush him out. Got B in the 1v1, and he'll best Zipnix, so we're going to 11-11. Big able to dig deep and tie things up. They get their first T-side round, and maybe that's the boost of motivation that they so desperately needed. Once again, having Astralis show their mortal colors, something that not many teams are able to achieve. Still a buy available for the Astralis squad in this round, but it will be, you know, teetering on the edge of that reset coming through.
That does show how many close rounds Big has had, right? They've been whittling away at this economy. They've just not been able to win the round off the back of it. But if they win 2 here, Harry, 2 in a row, that puts Astralis on eco. And then suddenly, Big 12-11 with Astralis on eco, they're going to be able to take the lead in a big way. So, got to be very careful in this round, knowing this could be what takes you over the finish line. This could be what sets you up for success in map 3, but great nades from Astralis. Next is down to 16. There's a response from Xantares, it won't connect, Magisk avoids it. Tabs actually gets an entry there. Zitnis going down on B. The trade immediately found from Glaive, but a 1-for-1 is still good for Big. The issue is the HP, the low HP. 2 players tagged up, but a shot through the smoke from Xantares. This is coming out of nowhere. Astralis getting shot through smokes, maybe getting a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, it does feel kind of like some sweet revenge on behalf of the entire CS scene here for Big, as they are getting a lot of these smoke shots off against one of the most notorious teams for getting them. By the way, Tizian is cleared all the way up through long. You can see he's just sat here, and he's got so much free real estate. The Big are very much invested in seeing what this A bomb site has in stores. Xantares trying to sell the lurk. And if he can keep these 2 players here, that is enough in and of itself.
The issue is he's getting the info that B's clear right now. We might see the bomb rotate down, and that would be a bad call to make. He doesn't even get the kill behind it. Luckily, this bomb doubles back. It was heading down towards short, but Tizian is already up on the A site. Dupree 6 HP after that spray connects from Xantares, and I think Astralis have bailed. They realize this round's over. Bomb going down on A. Big almost walking into the trap there from Astralis, but Tizian getting the kill to Device up on that A site makes this round a reality for Big. And Harry has said that's 2 rounds in a row. That's Astralis' money broken. Now this save makes all the difference. It will allow them to buy up in the follow-up. Both Magisk and Dupree have a bit of residual cash left up to drop. But this is similar to Inferno, where it's like, okay, Astralis, yeah, the save allows them to buy, but they're really not in a good position.
No, and you know, I mean, these 2 saved guns are going to spur you on to invest in this round, right? And it's like, it's one of these ones where...
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, you know, you go for it, you at least feel the buy, but it's very much coaxed you into a situation where you might not buy otherwise.
I don't think they're going to go for it, to be honest. I think they'd rather give away 13 and try their best with these 2 rifles and get everything. That would, in my opinion, be the best call to make. But, I mean... You know, if Astralis have a game plan around the buy that they're going to field here, if they have a, you know, an idea to stack connector or run shotguns close up on B short, something like that, could be a game plan. But this is all down to the best team in the world. It's their decision, and let's see how they choose to invest. They even called the tap pause as well.
Yeah, and you can hear stuff getting bought up. I'm curious as to what the decision was.
Rush up on your Danish, Harry. God. They're going to buy.
You can hear that, you know, Danish machine slaving away, trying to figure out exactly what the call was. And they've calculated that a buy here might be best off.
No AWP and a pistol on Glaive.
And this is where, if Big pick this up, there's a good chance they get 14-11 on the back of it. At which point, Astralis have to try and claw their way back into this game in a very big way. They've stacked 4 players over in middle. They're at least going to get the info early. So if Big aren't fast on hitting this B bomb site, Astralis have all the information in the world.
The issue is Big, they're looking to be fast, Harry. They're already up short. Astralis decided to double back on Device. He wants to rotate safely within the bomb site. Glaive, only a pistol here, and there's the kill. That might spur Big on. They could just double down into the bomb site they go. And Astralis, at this point, you're going to be considering saving. You're going to be thinking about holding onto these guns as to stop Big from going 14-11 up. You have to give away 13 here, and that's the call that they're going to make. The gamble on B not working out.
No, that was kind of the beauty in the design of that round, though, from Astralis, right? Very purposeful, because if they go mid, if Big play this default that they've been playing every single round, you've got a few chances there to try and take those fights with the rifles, try and turn that into your favor, allow Glaive to maybe swim on up and find a gun. But, and then, you know, obviously if the B play comes in, you only lose Glaive, who had the CZ, so it's not the end of the world. If he's able to get 1 or 2 kills as well, oh, it's like we're on the swing. This is nice.
Do we go down the slide?
We better, because... Hey,
No.
that's a new one. Rush has been working away on these.
What a gamer.
I tell you what, though, it is not. Oh, it's Jake, not Rush.
Give credit where credit is due, Harry.
I thought that looked far too good for Rush's standard.
He's not.
I'll be honest. So, yeah, shout out to Jake. But I tell you what, this has not been a day in the park for Astralis. This hasn't been a nice family outing like they originally thought it was.
Harry, their picnic has been poisoned. And
there's wasps all over the place. It's awful. As picnics always inevitably end up being, by the way.
Awful or waspy?
Waspy and awful by immediate, like,
Waspy equals awful, right?
dupree's holding mid, and he is dead. tabseN wrapping around through long, going to delete him. Big man advantage here in round 25 and a shot at a 14th round. If they pick this up, that economy situation in the back of Astralis' mind has not gone away. You can't just ignore this problem. They have to get this round or else they're force buying into the next. Xyp9x will get one. Device trying to hold his own over towards long, but tabseN gets the trade. 3v3, that bomb has been dropped, so Big have to go back and get it, but they're looking to take this A bomb site, and GodB with a blinder onto Magisk. Glaive, now the last man left. The leader of Astralis now has to lead by example and clutch this out in the 1v3 to deny a 14th round the way of Big. And it's not going to happen. The clash of the brains. GodB emerges victorious, 14-11. No money left for the Danes.
And this looked done, Harry. I was feeling it. Astralis pulled a 10-5 scoreline back to their favor. Big finally, they take two tactical pauses, back-to-back rounds, and they salvage an incredible few T-side rounds to their name. 14-11. Astralis on the back foot, and I'm going to relish saying that because it's not every day those words will leave my mouth. Big 14-11 up, and Astralis looking to get aggressive again. It's dupreeh with a nade, but nothing found from it. He'll climb above and beyond. Flashes over, send him packing. Device is still aggressive up on A long with this AUG, and no one looking towards it as well. Big with this very slow default. They're just holding on for this push, and they're going to get given it. That's the bomb dropped. Device catching tabseN out midair. Big kill to start off this round, and he's going to spot a second as well. Posted back up to drop Tizian, and Device is making this round a reality for Astralis. 2 kills, no need to fight, give it up, play the bomb sites, and let Big execute.
And this is where the decision to go for the buy here from Astralis, it looked like a risky one, right? It left them with so little to work with in this round, but the fact that they're finding these kills, they're making this a reality. Xantares, though, trying to throw a spanner in the works down here toward B. Not quite ready for Magisk, I imagine, but no, he certainly is. He's opened up the B bomb site single-handedly. Glaive could shut this round down, though, with the short wrap. Xantares is not ready for it. GodB's rotating in through long. He's heard the rotation. Nade's finding a bit of damage, but now Xantares seems wise to the fact there could be a player in long. dupreeh's been dropped. This was a 2v5. This was Astralis' round all day long, and now it's anybody's. Glaive might find GodB, but Xantares in with the trade, and now it's just Device, the man who almost derailed this round for Big initially, left to deal with. Xantares not ready for him, and Device will save the day. 12-14, and they've still got a stake in this game.
Oh, Astralis winning by the skin of their teeth, Harry, and again coming down to grave consequences with the economy. If you lose 4 players there, you're not going to have a load of money to run into that next round. Whereas Big, they've accrued a bit of a bonus. So this is going to be very, very tight now. Astralis fielding whatever they can into this round. UMP actually dropped in spawn, I think. It's going to be an MP9 for Xyp9x instead, and dupreeh's going to take the ump. So no AWPs. That hurts both sides. Xantares, he's had a great game, flashing himself through this short position, up in front of the Molotov. There's a double monster setup for Astralis, and that's a hard spot to clear from short. You've got to peek very wide. Getting molly, Xantares almost getting blocked into the flames by Tizian. In the meantime, look at Astralis up on the A side. They're aggressive. They're pushing all the way through the T-spawn. Glaive's on this flank, and Magiska's slowed down this B play. That molly as well will keep Big out, or at least should keep Big out, but tabseN runs right through it. He gets the kills, both of them. dupreeh has to aggress, and he might be able to catch out next behind this smoke as well. That's the bomb dropped, and 3-on-1. This is falling apart for Big.
Next is able to get the trade, but it's Glaive pushing around from behind, who should shut this whole round down. Next has been allowed to get the bomb. But how much further can he go? Device trained in on the angle, and a 13th for Astralis. This one is down to the wire once again.
Such fast rounds.
And there's still an overtime on the cards. Very much looking like that could be a possibility here.
Yeah, I think Big have to give up 14. Their money is going to start to come to a bit of a problem here. We might have to see the half buy. No, miscalculated. They've got plenty, ignore me. But either way, if anything, it's worse, because if Astralis hit 14 here, well, you know, they got max loss, so they're going to have money on the likes of Next, GodB, and Tizian. tabseN and Xantares will struggle, but we'll get to that when we get to that, because a bomb plant may always be on the cards. That would save Big here. Glaive, aggression, but the flashbang cuts him off. Xantara's watching for this early boost as well. Nothing coming through. Just jump spots for Glaive, but that gets heard as he hits the wood. Xantara's trying to make him hit the deck. Astralis, heavy stack on the A side of things this round. They will decide to rotate Zipex down towards this B bomb site though, so he'll be playing Heaven to support B. In the meantime, Big setting up utility and looking to go for this full-on execute here in the 5-on-5.
Oh, Magisk almost getting caught out there. Molotov will deny him a peek, and Glaive, trapped over at the barrels, will have a bit of a one-way to try and peek through. They get close, Tizian's gone, and Glaive trying to double up. Might have saved this round. He will finally get dealt with by Next, but the man advantage still residing with the Danes, and they will just pour into this B bomb site while they can. That smoke now dissipating. So God B open to the heavens, and Device just keeping tabs on his position. But speaking of tabs, it's Tabson creeping up to try and deal with the Danger Man up in heaven. He's only got a shoulder to hit, but he finds the head. Device is gone, and a 3-on-3. Astralis trying to deny the Germans map and series point in this round. They're all here. It's a 3-on-3 in the B bomb site.
But look at the time.
Big arm moving, bombs dropped, God B's dropped it. Next does get one. They have to get this bomb down. They do retrieve it on Tabson, but Magisk has dropped it, and now Next 1v2, he's gone as well. Astralis 14-14. They tie this up, they're keeping it competitive. The smiles are back on their faces.
And they realize they've done it as well, Harry. No bomb plant. Big's money has been broken at a crucial point. They've got the last bonus, sure, but we are going to see things lacking here for the last buy. No AWP being the most notable part. Otherwise, pretty decent. Still, 14-14, and Astralis, wow, they look like they were out of this game 3 rounds ago. They have certainly made this one close. And as you say, overtime still on the cards here. Fast con play from the likes of Glaive. He'll get down the stairwell. Big pushing into the B-bomb site. They're just trying to go immediately in. Astralis still have mollies, but they're not using them. They don't realize how deep Big are. Flashes are going through, but Xantara is just waiting for the barrels peak. He'll get one from the pillar. Lots of damage done. The nades through. Dupree crosses to the barrels, and Xantara he's just going to get flashed in. He doesn't know anyone's on this position. They thought they cleared it, but Dupree has come up clutch with 2 huge kills, shutting down this B push, much as how Glaive did in the previous round. It's a 5-on-3, but look at Tizian.
He's been so good at getting this forward position over towards long, and this is where Big have found success, but Device spots him this time. Holding down the angle, missed shot, and now things heating up for Device. He has to extinguish that Molotov. The wrap from Glaive could actually shut this whole round down here and now. God B spots it, Next gets the trade, but Tizian's gone. And that A-bomb site, while it once looked safe, now it's overrun by Astralis. Next left in the 1v4. The Danes might be about to reach map and series point here, and they will. 15-14. Big going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel for a buy here.
And going the distance, Harry. Tactical pause from Big. We've had both sides pressured in this best of 3. Big, you know, hitting a record by not only being the only team to actually, you know, not only take a map off of Astralis, but even make maps competitive. Coming into today, the only, Astralis had only lost 7 rounds maximum in the Pro League in any map. And Big not only defeated their record over on Inferno, breaking their LAN streak with an overtime victory, but now sit 14 rounds, 1 behind that of Astralis, trying to bring it to another overtime here to finish off this week of Pro League. The best team in the world may be too hot to handle, at least in this best of 3 series. Astralis are not looking to falter anytime soon, but it's Big scraping the barrel for the buy. It's a Galil, a MAC-10, and 3 rifles. Early molly allows Astralis to get aggressive, and Big just run right through it. They go through the smoke. Dupree's on the other side, flashed out, but he finds 1.5. Tizian down to 2, and God B down to 50. This is great damage from Astralis, but a 4-on-4 gives Big a lot of room to work with. Astralis have to play 2 men per site.
Yeah, but 1 nade is all it takes to delete Tizian, and if there's one thing Astralis have in abundance, it is fantastic utility usage across the board. So do be sure to bear that in mind. Aggressive monster smoke going to get thrown in. Actually going to miss mark a bit. Xantara's is gone, and what a man to find if you're Zipnix. That is going to take a lot of pressure off of you. he has been someone who's been able to turn these rounds on their head. So the fact that you found tabseN and Zintares as your first 2 kills for Astralis, maybe breathing a collective sigh of relief. Tizian's tagged down low from earlier on in the round. From that push on dupreeh and Big, this looks like round 30, the culmination of 3 maps, both these teams brawling it out, back and forth games, a split series. And round 30 might just culminate in the B push from Big.
You just saw Zipex throw a gun out the map as well. Astralis will do everything they can to gain an advantage, and with 30 seconds left, this push has to come through. 2 players on the bomb site and a 3rd ready to rotate heaven. Zipex will spot them. The molly's coming in strong. Monster, he gets forced back to the pit. The smokes are good, but Magiski's got an open line of sight to the bomb, and he's dropped it on the bridge. Now Big need to pick it up, and they line up for him. Another kill. The bomb picked, but the round lost. It's Astralis to take the victory. 2-1 here as they find Overpass 16-14. It's a messy one, and it goes the distance, but it's another win in